Good day, friends. I am going to tell you a story about the Boston Massacre. In March of 1770, Great Britain and the American colonies were very much divided. Colonists were angry that Great Britain was taxing them without representation. And then to make matters worse, Great Britain stationed British soldiers in the colonies. Those soldiers were in the colonies to keep an eye on colonists and try to keep the colonies under control. Just like we would hate to have enemy soldiers in our cities, the Bostonians absolutely despised having British soldiers walking around their cities. It was very tense in Boston. You could feel the tension in the air. Great Britain viewed the city of Boston as rebellious, and so they posted extra soldiers in Boston to try to keep control of the city. Well, colonists felt like those soldiers were making it hard to live and enjoy their everyday lives. They felt like soldiers were taking over their city. Every once in a while, there would be a fist fight between a soldier and a colonist, or there would be names taunting and mocking back and forth. But there was a pretty bad situation that happened on the night of March 5th, 1770. It was after dark. It was cold. There was snow on the ground. I want you to notice these street lamps. In the 18th century, they didn't have the automatic lights on the streets that we're used to. They had lanterns, and those lanterns didn't give off too much light. So when some unruly colonists walked out of a tavern on the night of March 5th, they saw a couple of British soldiers on the street, and they decided that they would have some fun with them. They started throwing snowballs at the soldiers, mocking them. They called them names like lobster scoundrel. Lobster scoundrel is because the British uniform coat was bright red, and a scoundrel is a bad, dishonorable person. So they were yelling and throwing snowballs and sticks and calling these soldiers names, and they were very loud. So as you can imagine, a large group started to gather. A large group of colonists gathered and said, hey, why not? They're already making trouble with these soldiers. We'll join in. So before long, more British soldiers come on the scene, and there are many colonists yelling, screaming, throwing snowballs and sticks and rocks. And the scene turned to chaos very quickly. And keep in mind, it's dark. The soldiers can't really see exactly how many colonists there are. They can't see, what the colonists have to throw at them and what they have access to. Do they have weapons with them? Do they not have weapons with them? The British soldiers were really at a disadvantage. And unfortunately, we don't know if it was an accident or on purpose, a British soldier fired his musket into the crowd. And soon after, more of the soldiers who were there fired their muskets into the crowd. And when the firing stopped, 5 colonists lay dead. We know that the British soldiers were not ordered to fire. It was brought up in court documents when there was a court case about this incident. It was brought up that the British commander was standing behind his men yelling, hold your fire, don't shoot, hold your fire. And so we know that this wasn't a coordinated, planned, purposeful attack on colonists, but it was a skirmish, and 5 colonists were killed. This man, Crispus Attucks, was the first colonist killed in the Boston Massacre. He was born into slavery. He escaped slavery. And at the time he was killed, he was working as a sailor and a dockhand. Crispus Attucks, along with 4 other colonists, were killed that day. The incident happened right here in front of Boston's Old State House. This was a very important government building in 1770, but now it's a museum. You can actually go see it today. The red arrow is pointing to a round area in the sidewalk where you can go and you can stand on the actual site of the Boston Massacre. And you can go visit today. It's part of the Freedom Trail. I know that you are going to learn a lot more about the Boston Massacre